Hi all, welcome back to C++ tutorial on Tooth Fulcrum. This session is an introduction to object-oriented programming in C++. Object-oriented programming, as the name suggests, uses objects in programming. Object-oriented programming aims to implement real-world entities like inheritance, hiding, polymorphism, etc. in programming. The main aim of object-oriented programming is to bind together the data and functions that operate on them so that no other part of the code can access this data except that function. Let's look into the characteristics of an object-oriented programming language. There are 6 major pillars for an object-oriented programming language. Let's understand them one by one. Class. Class is the building block of C++ that leads to object-oriented programming. It's a user-defined data type which holds its own data members and member functions which can be accessed and used by creating an instance of that class. A class is like a blueprint for an object. Let me give you a real-time example to understand what a class is. Consider an ATM. An ATM is a class. It's a machine which is pretty much useless until you insert your debit card. After you insert your card, the machine has information about you and your bank account and balance in it. So at this point, it's an object. You can look at the card as an object. We'll see about objects soon. You have used a class and created an object. Now you can perform operations on it like withdrawal of money or checking your balance or getting statement of your account, etc. These operations will be the methods belonging to that class, which is the ATM, but you cannot use them until you create an object out of it. An ATM machine as such, that is, if you consider that as a class, you cannot use it. The moment you insert your card, you can access the services from the ATM machine. So the debit card or the card what you have, you can see as an object. So we say we instantiate your class or you make use of the class by creating object to the class. So let's see about object. An object is an identifiable entity with some characteristics and behavior. An object is an instance of a class. When a class is defined, no memory is allocated, but when it is instantiated, that is, when you create an object to your class, memory is allocated. That is, object take up space in memory and have an associated address. Encapsulation. In normal terms, encapsulation is defined as wrapping up of data and information under a single unit. In object-oriented programming, encapsulation is defined as binding together the data and the functions that manipulate them. You wrap these data and related functions under the unit class. Let's take an example to understand this. Every time you log into your email account, you have a whole lot of processes taking place in the background. That is, you have no control over such processes also. So your password would probably be retrieved in an encrypted form, verified, and only then you are given access. You do not have any control over how the password is verified, and this keeps it safe from misuse. So encapsulation binds together the data and functions that manipulate the data, keeping it safe from interference and misuse. So you could say encapsulation leads to data abstraction or hiding, as using encapsulation also hides the data. Abstraction. Data abstraction is one of the most essential and important features of object-oriented programming. Abstraction means displaying only essential information and hiding the details. Data abstraction refers to providing only the essential information about the data to the outside world, hiding the background details or implementation. Consider a real life example of a man driving a car. The man only knows that pressing the accelerators will increase the speed of the car or applying brakes will stop the car. But he does not know about how on pressing the accelerator the speed is actually increasing, and he doesn't know about the inner mechanism of the car or the implementation of accelerator, brakes, etc. in the car. This is what abstraction is. We can implement abstraction in C++ using classes. The class help us to group data members and member functions using available access specifiers. A class can decide which data member will be visible to the outside world and which is not. Polymorphism. The word polymorphism means having many forms. In simple words, we can define polymorphism as the ability of a message to be displayed in more than one form. A person at the same time can have different characteristics, like a man at the same time is a father, a husband, an employee. So the same person possesses different behavior in different situations. This is called as polymorphism. Moving to the last characteristics of object-oriented programming, inheritance. The capability of a class to derive properties and characteristics from another class is called as inheritance. And inheritance is one of the most important features of object-oriented programming. As an example, you could look into yourself, like you acquire the properties from your ancestors. Same way as with programming also, you could take the properties from the parent classes. Or as said, it's the capability of a class to derive the properties and characteristics from another class. So this was an overview of the characteristics of object-oriented programming language. So as said, class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism and inheritance, you could look at them as the pillars of object-oriented programming. We will dive deep into these concepts in the coming sessions, and we'll also see how we are going to implement these in C++ programming language. So keep watching. Thank you so much. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe, and please don't forget to tap the bell icon. You'll get notified whenever we upload a new videos. Thank you.